out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud.
South Africa's transformation stands as a defining event of the 20th century. Millions around the world celebrated as Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and 4 years later became South Africa's first democratically elected president.
Partnership is important, and partnership involves negotiation. So when it comes to the partnership with South Africa, if Americans were to tell us what was good for us, imagine saying that to a people who have just won their freedom. There would really not be any progress. The key thing I like about partnership is the sense of equality that it provides.
Since opening its doors in 1998, South Africa Partners has worked to build meaningful partnerships between the United States and South Africa.
A partnership is a two-way street. And I think that's one of the things that I'm impressed about with this organization, is that this is not one way. This is not just us giving to them. This is us learning from them and receiving from them.
I've been on a lot of boards. I've been involved with a lot of organizations over my lifetime. But this is the one that is the most meaningful, the most fun, and the most interesting. The board is wonderful. The organization is wonderful. Our partnership with South Africa is terrific. Our partners in South Africa are doing monumental work. And it's a real pleasure to work with them all.
Working with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the National Department of Health in South Africa, we are scaling up an intervention to support individuals newly diagnosed with HIV.
The basic care package has got 6 key topics. That is acceptance of status, disclosure, prevention with positive nutrition, treatment, adherence, counseling. And these topics are found to be very important for a person who's newly diagnosed.
Masifunde Sonke is bringing South African children's books to the United States. With each purchase, we are able to donate a book from the collection to an underserved South African school.
And the gap between the rich and the poor, which of course correlates with race, is so vast. And particularly in this worldwide economic crisis, I think that South Africans, as they always have been, have to continue to be innovative and the commitment that so many of them have to solving the problems, looking at their assets and harnessing those assets and moving forward. I think that that spirit is really what's going to make a difference.
Creating lasting partnerships requires more than just matching similar interest groups. You need shared values, missions, and leadership styles. And when those elements are present, both organizations reap rewards.
South Africa Partners puts such a premium on partnership development because it understands that it's not just us being paternalistic towards somebody else, that there's an opportunity for teaching one another, for us to learn from South Africa to learn from us, and that from those collaborations to build something stronger than either one of us could do on our own.
This year, South Africa Partners is partnering with over 30 educational, cultural, and sports institutions to bring South Africa to Boston.
While it's really important that children and families are getting an opportunity to come together, I think what is also incredible about this initiative are the many partners that are involved and that are coming into a space, meeting monthly to really rally their resources and support all of the events that South Africa Partners is pushing forward with the City of Boston. And that is a rare occurrence, but it is remarkable how powerful it's been and how effective it's been.
World Cup Boston 2010 celebrates the FIFA Soccer World Cup being held in South Africa, the first time an African country is hosting this major sporting event.
It's not just about sports, it's not just about education, it involves cultural exchange, it's bringing communities together, it's about diversity, it's about peace, it's about all those great ideals that I think we want our young people to learn. And as someone who tries to incorporate those types of things in all the sports and recreation programs we run, this was just an outstanding opportunity.
The World Cup Boston has brought together urban and suburban towns, have brought together boys and girls, men and women here, parents from the city and the suburbs. So when you just take a look at one initiative, this is exactly what needs to happen if we're going to have actually, I always like to say a community, a city, and a country that's inclusive of all.
South Africa's greatest resource is its people. Working together, change is possible, and change is happening.
5 years ago, 4 of us traveled to the Eastern Cape in South Africa. We always know that we're going to receive gifts from the schools, the parents, their learners, and the teachers, but what a gift we got. We shared stories, we shared information about using libraries and books and schools, but I think what we got in return was so much more. The warmth, the dedication, the songs that the children sang for us really gave us a lot of energy and motivated us to really want to continue our work with them.
As South Africa Partners looks to the future, we are expanding our presence both here in Boston and in South Africa.
The critical values that define South Africa Partners' work in South Africa would include 3 things. The first is integrity, the second is equity, and the third is learning. Integrity, because everything that this organization does needs to matter. It needs to matter who we do it with, how we do it, and the impact it has on the beneficiaries. The issue of equity is critical for the very simple reason that we need to be able to exchange ideas and information between groups and to have the, if you will, the balance in achieving understanding and knowledge from both sides. And third, an extension of both of these is learning. The opportunity to try and create understanding and shared knowledge can only come from having an open heart and an open mind.
South Africa provides an opportunity for us to see both a history of oppression, but also a history of social justice in action. And South Africa Partners links us all with that history, but also with the progress from that history to transformation. And I think it's one of the significant roles that South Africa Partners plays. It allows those of us who live in this country in particular to have opportunities to witness possibility for transformation for that country, for South Africa, and for the world.
South Africa's future is inherently tied to our own. South Africa Partners will continue working with our friends in South Africa, helping to preserve their successes and support their ongoing struggles. In the future, as in the past, we will be changing the world together.